Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Episode-3 of Reclaiming Islam's Image, Strategies for the New Generation, is here. Last time, we dissected the terrorism misconception and saw how context flips the narrative. Adil, you've shown us one big lie. Now, what about other false accusations? Are there other examples? Or is terrorism the main problem only?
Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I showed you an example of terrorism. This is just one of many false claims about Muslims. Let's take a look at some of the most misused terms. One of them is that Muslims oppress women's rights, but this is not true.
Bold claim. Oppression isn't true at all. Back it up with evidence from Islamic sources.
One of the last commandments of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Muslims to treat women well. This is stated in an authentic hadith from Abu Huraira that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, advise one another to treat women well. استوصوا بالنساء خيرا. Before Islam, people used to kill baby girls. This was a common practice, but Islam came and stopped this. Islam gave and protected women's rights and gave them value as a mother, sister, wife, and daughter. They all have their known Islamic rights.
Stopping infanticide and valuing women in roles, that's revolutionary for its time. Next up, is there a real problem with Islam in that it does not accept multiple religions?
Another false accusation is that Islam is intolerant of other religions. But Allah directly said in the Quran, لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينِ. He commanded us to say, to you your religion and to me mine. Allah also said, فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Whoever wills, let him believe. And whoever wills, let him disbelieve. And Allah told the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he said in the Quran, don't force people to become Muslims. You can't. أَفَأَنْتَ تُكْرِهُ النَّاسَ حَتَّى يَكُونُوا مُؤْمِنِينَ. Yes, Allah will hold people accountable for their choices. But Allah also said, لَا إِكْرَاهَ فِي الدِّينِ قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. There is no compulsion in religion. There is no forcing people to become Muslims. The right path has become clear and it's separate from the wrong path. This is what Allah Almighty said.
No compulsion. Freedom of belief shines through. Despite all this clarity, why do accusations persist? And how do we address them?
Yes, despite all this, people still accuse Islam of many things. If I listed all the false accusations, it would take a long time. I think this is enough and the point is clear that we need to address these false claims and show the truth. But the most important question now is how?
Exactly. The how is key. Let's circle back to that research group. What strategies did they use to recover? And how can we apply them?
Let's go back to the research group. They faced false accusations and misunderstandings. I want to see how they solved these problems and regained their position. We can learn from their experience. Their solutions can help us solve our own problems. But before knowing their strategies, the first step is learning. Without knowledge, our efforts can do more harm than good. As Umar ibn al-Aziz wisely said, whoever works without knowledge will spoil more than he fixes.
Knowledge first. Smart advice to avoid harm. So, what tactics did the group use? Start with their internal team.
Let me review some tactics used by the research group. Then we can see how to apply them to our situation. The research group started an internal team called the Choice Taskforce. This team reviewed their published materials to clarify any unclear language. We need to do the same. As I mentioned, translation errors contributed to misconceptions. We must correct these errors. Young people can help with this task. They are more familiar with languages than we are, so their input would be valuable.
Youth and languages. A perfect match! Are there any other paths to a solution?
The research group made a documentary video. It showed how codes were misused and presented the true facts. It works quickly. If you are involved in this field, please try making a film. Even a simple one can help. You can use it to correct just one false claim.
Quick impact with videos. Love it. Did they follow other things that we can apply?
The research group made a myth versus reality website. It lists common false claims and corrects them. You can do this too. Create a website in your language, share the truth and correct false claims. It's easy and helpful.
Accessible for anyone, great idea. But this might be too complicated for non-experts in technology. Are there simpler solutions for the general public?
Yeah. Start with short social media posts. Each post should fix a common mistake. Explain the correct meaning and its benefits. This is easy to do. Anyone can help serve with this.
Everyday action. Empowering. Are there any other ideas?
The research group used infographics and the charts to show how information is changed. They showed the original text and the manipulated parts. We can use infographics like this too. For example, to clarify the Islamic inheritance laws. Some people say women get half of what men get. But that's not the whole story. We can add all the cases and show the true ratio. We can also compare zakat versus tax rates. There are many other ideas too.
Breaking down inheritance myths. Practical example. These are truly new and inspiring solutions. Are there any other solutions?
The research group created a context restoration team. This team quickly corrects mistakes made by taking codes out of context. We can do the same. If you cannot form a team, be a one-person team. Try to clarify misunderstandings about one issue. Explain the correct context.
Solo or team flexible? Excellent ideas. Are there any more?
The research group used newspapers to expose false claims and clarify facts. This is very important. If you know how the press or TV works, try to correct even one false idea.
Reaching wider audiences. Key. Reaching a large audience is extremely important. Are there other ideas that help in reaching more audiences?
They used online comics and humor to show how silly the false claims are. Do not waste time online. Instead, create a comic that explains things clearly. Show the wrong and right meanings. Make it memorable and easy to share.
Memorable and shareable. Brilliant. That sounds fun and effective. You've impressed me with these multiple solutions. Tell me more.
They sought recognition from neutral groups to show their true work. Find neutral groups that give awards for good work. For example, groups that protect animals, plant, women's or children's rights. Islam has many wonderful details. We need to show them to the world in a clear and attractive way.
Awards add credibility. Smart move. Do you have another solution we can conclude with?
Yes, I have. The research group found influencers to help share corrections. These influencers add credibility to the group. Muslims should not work alone. We need to engage with the world. Find neutral supporters who explain things correctly. This helps calm public doubts.
Engaging the world. Yes. And your closing thought?
Think about these deeds. Allah will ask you at the Day of Judgment, what did you do? Be ready to answer with anything you did. Life is not just about making money or being successful. We should do good deeds now to be rewarded later.
Inspiring call to action, Adil. Do good now for later rewards. Listeners, this episode packed strategies to reclaim the truth. If it motivates you, please like, subscribe, and share far and wide. That's a wrap on our series. Thanks for joining Reclaiming Islam's Image. Stay empowered and keep spreading the light.